Plaintiff Nia Dang says after he started working for the defendant, he realized that the defendant only cared about flirting with their female clients. Nia is suing his former employer because he claims he failed to pay him for his services. Defendant Juan Domingo hired Nia to sell insurance, but instead of doing that, he played video games all day. Juan claims one day he was forced to send Nia home because he fell asleep on the job, and he denies owing him for anything.
Start with you.
Juan Domingo here, he's a great friend. But as a manager...
Where do you know him from?
I know him because I actually helped him out at Best Buy when I was currently working there. And
you met him there?
I met him there, yes.
Okay.
I was selling him a tablet, and he liked my customer service, so he recruited me on.
Okay.
And knowing that, he wasn't the best manager. He was very unprofessional to me. It seemed like he wanted to just flirt with the clients that came in to his office.
He flirted with all the girls. That's what you say when they came in.
Yes.
All right. Did any of them respond? Were they responsive to his flirting?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
He was in his private office. But I actually have this one incident where...
What type of job was it?
It was an insurance agency.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And my current girlfriend at the time, we're just friends. I brought her to the office.
Hold on. What's that pretty girl standing there for? You're distracting me. Not she running out. Not she running out. Did you bring her? Oh, you brought her to flirting.
You know, I gotta flirt with somebody.
You just stand right there, baby. I'll win this. You just stand. Now get me back on track.
Yes. So with my girlfriend, when I brought her to the office, he would make comments of her, saying that she was pretty, and he would just get to know her. So later on...
In what way? Tell me.
So he would just ask her a bunch of questions.
In your presence?
In my presence, too.
Like what?
Like he would say her hair is pretty, where she works, this and that. Just getting to know her a lot.
Okay.
And later on, when we got closer, I talked to him about it, and I was saying that yes, I'm with her now, and he actually made a bet with me that she would actually leave me in 6 months because I wasn't man enough for her. And
how long ago was it?
It was about a year ago now.
You still have her?
I still have her. I am actually currently still with her right now. I am in love with her. She's in love with me. She's actually waiting for me back home.
Good man.
And Juan Domingo,
Good
he
to
actually
hear that.
owe us a dinner.
Right, there you go. Now who you got? Let me hear from you, sir. You give me some background, then we'll get to the wages he's suing you for.
Well, you know, first of all, I learned a valuable lesson with him, you know, knowing that you can't keep people, employers, staff under you just because you feel bad for them, you know. This guy over here was employed to sell 20 balls a month, wouldn't even be able to sell one or two because he was too busy playing Bejeweled, Tetris.
He was doing what? I'm sorry.
Playing Bejeweled. He's on the computer.
Video games?
Yeah, just a little game, playing Tetris, watching movies, whatever he could. I would come out, be like, hey, what are you doing? Did you make your sales? Oh, I'm working on it.
How did he do with his sales overall?
He wouldn't sell anything. I mean, he would sell one or two balls. His max, his goal were 20.
Okay. So he didn't do well during his stay.
As an employee, he's a very unprofessional guy. I mean, this is the best dress up I've seen on him. He would come in with a tie that looked like he just like wrinkled it like this and just put it on. Tennis shoes, they were dirty. I talked to him about it. I said, like, look, you can't do this. You can't come into the office and be like, you know, all wrinkled up. I'm like, go somewhere, iron your shirts, whatever. Like, you need to look professional. One time, I come out of a meeting from a home office, and he's passed out, just napping in my office. I'm like, dude, you gotta go home.
He liked my customer service, so he recruited me.
Okay.
And knowing that, he wasn't the best manager. He was very unprofessional to me. It seemed like he wanted to just flirt with the clients that came in to his office.
Plaintiff Nia Dang worked for the defendant. And he says while there, the defendant cared more about flirting with the female clients than doing his job.
Sir, why are you suing him? Tell me about the wages and the breach of contract.
In the beginning of when he hired me,
When was that?
October 24th, 2011,
All right.
he did not officially pay me until January.
What was the agreement?
The agreement, I was working full-time, 40 hours
How
for him,
much?
for $325 each week.
All right. And
And I am suing him for the full month of November.
why'd you wait so long?
I didn't. I kept bothering about it.
Okay, hold on, sir. All right, so that's November, 4 weeks. What else?
And I am suing him also for a sign being moved to the new agency.
Tell me what the
So-
agreement and the circumstance.
So he came to me asking if I had good credit.
What month and year?
The month was May 2012.
All right, May of 12. Go ahead.
Yes, he was moving agencies and he was tight on his budget. So he came to me asking for help to move the sign. And since I worked for him, if I didn't, I would lose my job. So
He told you that?
No. I felt like I contributed enough because I was actually running the office too when he was off busy.
No, you weren't.
Hold on. Let's start, first of all, how much did you expend?
So I spent a total of $1,826.
All right, $1,826.
And
you did this because you didn't want to lose your job?
No,
That's what I'm missing. Why did you do it?
because I felt like I wanted to keep my job as well as just.
He
work
told you
with
you
it.
wouldn't keep your job if you didn't do it?
No.
Then what does that have to do with you
But
keeping your job, sir? In fact, your boss already owed you $1,300, and then 7 months later, you put up $1,800. Is he the only person you were working for?
Yes.
You spending all your money on a boss that won't pay you?
You should hire him.
I was.
You want to work here?
I would.
My false name.
All right, for whatever reason, you loaned him $1,800 7 months after your boss refused to pay you.
Yes, but
All right, good enough.
Okay.
Sir, let me hear your defense.
Well, first of all, I offered him the job in July 2011.
Let's start with the November. Did you pay him all of November?
Yes.
He says you did not pay him for the month of November. You say you paid him all?
Yeah.
All of the month of November?
Yes.
All right, and he also says he loaned you $1,826 to move a business sign to a new location. What do you say to that?
I said no. I never asked him to pay anything. One day, he just tells me, "Oh, I paid for this." I'm like, "Why? I didn't ask you to do that." He just did it on his own accord. After I came back from a meeting, because I guess they were calling.
Okay, that was it?
Yep.
All right, did he ever ask you for repayment?
After he left,
What did you tell him?
I said, "Well, send me a copy of all this stuff and tell
Copy of what?
of like the payment or whatever he made."
Okay, did he?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
All right, do you have a copy?
I have all the
Sounds like that's
statements.
all he needed to pay
Yes.
you your money back.
So.
Did
So
you ever
this
give him a
is-
copy? Did he ever tell
Yes,
you this?
I did. I actually wrote him a contract.
All right, well, he doesn't have it, and so let's give it to him today. And so we shouldn't have a problem there. That sounds like that's all you needed. All right, there you go. What do you have in your hand you want to
And
provide?
this is the loss of wages. These are the only 3 checks that he gave me
Let's see it.
during those times. And I have bank statements showing the deposits on those. As you can see, those are the only 3 checks that I got.
Those are only 3 you brought.
Yes. And in my
That
bank
doesn't mean those are only 3 you have.
and in my bank statement, it shows that as well, that those are the only 3.
Plaintiff Nia Dang worked for the defendant, and he says while there, the defendant cared more about flirting with the female clients than doing his job.
Where's your bank statement?
So these are all my bank statement.
You're saying none of November.
Yes, so once I officially got into the system, it was more consistent.
I don't know what you're talking about getting
I
in the
highlighted.
system, but
I
just
highlighted
hand
all the
me
ones that was-
the bank statements that one, show me when they were put in there, and then I'll see that they weren't put in there the other times, right?
Yes.
All right. You have the ones when they were deposited in
Yes.
there.
The ones that are highlighted is the ones that are deposit.
All right,
And then
let's see it.
afterwards,
And then, well done. Then we'll see if there's any deposits in November. Right?
yes.
All right, because you say he didn't pay you in November. That's what we're here for.
Yes.
Let's see. I see payments, the same one you gave me for 11/19 in November.
11/19.
The date, November.
Yes. Those are the only 3 that he gave me.
You told me
So
he paid you nothing in November.
No, that was the month of October.
Okay. So he and I see December he paid you $463.
No.
I'm looking right at it. You're the one circled it.
Yes, it's 463.
Sir, you are unable to prove your case, but I am going to grant you a judgment for the sign. Have a good day. That's my judgment.
Like I said, he's a good friend. As a friend, I don't know if as an employee, I don't think I would work with him again.
I still work for the company, and he still owes me money.